Assalamu alaikum girls, this is lesson 5.1, part 1, using the percent proportion. We started looking at this in class and we completed question 1A and 1B, and I showed you a way of writing the sentence in English and then changing that to maths. So I'll show you and recap 1C and then 1D. You can check your answers with me. If you'd like to have a go first, pause the video, have a go, and then check your answers. If you're still unsure, follow this method. Write the sentence in English. So the sentence says, what percent of 5 is 12? That's the question. Let's change that into maths. So what percent, we asked to find something, so let's use a question mark, but they've written percent, so let's write that over 100. What percent, now of, in maths is times, 5 is simply a number, is in maths means equals, and 12 is a number. So that's what it is if you're talking about maths. So we have what, and we can times that by 5, what percent, so question mark times 5 divided by 100 is 12. We will now cross multiply. I'll show you this first time. We will cross multiply. To get rid of the 100, at the bottom, I'm going to multiply by 100 on both sides. So they cancel here and the 100 reappears on the other side. We now have question mark times 5 is equal to 1200. And now, in order to get rid of the 5, because I don't want the 5 next to the question mark, I'll divide both sides by 5. And then my final answer will now, the 5s will cancel. I will get 1200 divided by the 5. I will get 240. Let's have a look what that 240 means. So when they ask me what percent of 5 is 12, when they ask me that question, I can say 240% of 5 is 12. 240% of 5 is 12. Okay, let's have a look at 1D now. So take a picture if you want to, or pause the video to have a look at that. Let's have a look at 1D. So we're going to use exactly the same method. We're going to rewrite the question from English to maths. So that in English, 1D says, what percent of 18 is 9? So what, we'll use as a question mark, percent, I'll write that question mark over 100, of is times, our number 18 is the same, and is equals 9. So my question here is now, in one go, question mark times 18 divided by 100 equals 9. Find the question mark. Use the maths to find the question mark. The first thing I'll do is multiply both sides by 100. That will allow me to eliminate the denominator there. So now I'm left with question mark times 18 equals 900. Now if I divide both sides by 18, I will be able to cancel that 18 there. So we'll divide by 18 and we'll get question mark is equal to 50. What does that mean? What does the 50 mean? Well, if we go back to the sentence said, what percent of 18 is 9? I can now write 50% of 18 is 9. So I've just answered that question. Okay, using the same technique, English to maths, I'm going to answer example 2 now. So example 2 here says, what number is 15% of 450? So English, and then we'll take that to maths. Just write the question if you need to. What number is 15% of 450? What number is my question mark? There's no percent now. Notice there's no percent, so just the question mark. Is means equals. Here is the 15%. 15%. Let me put that in red to show you that there was the percent. Of, in maths, means times, and then we have our number 450. So in this case, no need to cross multiply, simply put into your calculator all these numbers and find your answer. Okay? No need to cross multiply. A little bit easier because there's straightforward calculation to do there. 67.5. So if we were to understand this question, it said, what number is 15% of 450? We will say 67.5 is 15% of 450. Okay, 67.5 is 15% of 450. Okay, so we can do exactly the same thing for 2A, I got it here, 2B, 2C and 2D. So pause the video, have a go at each question, and I'll go through and show you the answers. So when you're ready to have a look at the answers, you can play the video again. So go ahead and pause. Okay, let's have a look at 2A and get you some answers here. So question 2A, please go from the English to the maths. It works for every question. So they ask, what number is 11.4% of 330? So we ask what number, so that's the question mark, is equals 11.4% of is times 330. I don't want to put percent there, I want to put over 100. Okay, and that's my times there. So again, simply put that into your calculator, 11.4 times 330, divided by 100, and you're going to get 37.62. Did you get that answer? Okay, let's have a look at 2B now. So find 10%, sorry, 10.5%. Find 10.5% of 30. This is the same as saying what is 10.5% of 30. Same thing, okay, question mark. So I can put what is my question, is 10.5% of 30. Another way, if the question says find, another way of writing that is what. Put that into your calculator and you should get 3.15. So that's the answer to B. Let's check you got the right answer for 2C now. Find, again it starts with find, but that's okay, 15.3% of 425. So we are going to change this as though it said what is 15.3% of 425. That's the same question. Find 15.3% of 425. What is 15.3% of 425? That's your what. Is equals. Is your equals. Your number, 15.3%. Don't forget, of 425. Put that into your calculator. Work that out. And you should get an answer of, now the whole answer is 65.025. Okay, look carefully at your question. It may ask you to write to the nearest integer or whole number. So you have to follow the instructions carefully. Okay, I'll erase this top part now and we'll do D. Let's have a look at D. What number is 63? What number is 63.4% of 12? What number is 63.4% of 12? Every time it's the same. What number is my question mark? Is equals 63.4%. Don't forget that. If there's a mistake somebody's going to make, it's to forget to write this as 1 over 100. Of is times, and then you have 12. Put that into your calculator as usual. And we're going to get 7.608. Okay? Again, check the question to see if they want how accurate they want the answer to be. If they tell you they want it to 1 decimal place or the nearest tenth or the whole number, make sure that you follow that through. Okay. So now this is the end of the first part. When you're confident with this, go to part 2, the second video, to go through example 3 and example 4. And then go through as many guided practice questions as you can so that you're really confident in doing these questions. Thank you, girls.